As dawn broke on the first day of China's week-long National Day holiday, known across the country as Golden Week, tens of thousands of visitors poured into the capital. From narrow historic alleys to world-famous landmarks, the city is once again bracing for one of the busiest travel seasons of the year. The hum of arriving trains and the shuffle of sightseeing crowds set the rhythm of this national celebration. In the heart of the old city, at Nanluoguxiang Street, visitors stroll shoulder to shoulder along the centuries-old hutong lanes. The cobbled street, lined with red lanterns and restored courtyards, has become one of Beijing's most popular pedestrian destinations. Families stop to take selfies in front of wooden shop fronts. Young couples snack on candied hawthorn berries. Tour groups pause beneath banners as guides hold aloft their coloured flags. Street vendors work quickly, handing out tea, drinks and hot skewers, while cashiers struggle to keep up with the flow of customers. The narrow walkways echo with the laughter of children and the chatter of visitors from provinces across China. A short ride away stands the Forbidden City, the symbolic heart of imperial China and one of the country's most visited heritage sites. All morning, groups have streamed through its monumental gates. Some pause beneath the towering red walls for family portraits. Others shield themselves from the mild autumn sun with paper fans and hats. Parents guide their children over the worn stone steps, pointing to the carved dragons and gilded roofs that once housed emperors. Elderly visitors lean on the arms of younger relatives as they make their way slowly toward the vast courtyards within. Outside the exit, long lines of people wait patiently for tour buses, their faces tired but content, while the constant hiss of doors opening and closing mixes with the hum of the city's traffic. Beyond the historic centre, Beijing's major railway stations show an even larger surge of activity. Vast concourses fill with travellers hauling brightly coloured suitcases and backpacks. Many sit on their luggage, checking phones for updates on departure times. Others crowd around digital boards that list dozens of trains heading to coastal cities, mountain resorts and hometowns scattered across China. Volunteers in red armbands assist confused passengers, while station loudspeakers announce the next wave of departures in a steady rhythm. The flutter of small Chinese flags at ticket gates and platforms reminds passengers that the holiday is not only a time of leisure, but also a commemoration of national unity. Golden Week marks the founding of the People's Republic of China on October 1st, 1949. For decades, it has been a period of both patriotic celebration and mass travel, as millions take advantage of the break to visit relatives or explore the country's landmarks. This year's festivities carry particular weight. With pandemic-era restrictions now fully behind them, domestic tourists have returned in record numbers. Officials forecast hundreds of millions of passenger journeys across the country during the holiday, a vivid sign of recovery in China's travel sector and of renewed public confidence. Beijing, as the nation's capital, continues to be the main magnet. The Forbidden City, dating back to the early Ming dynasty, remains an essential stop for visitors eager to connect with China's imperial past. Nearby, Tiananmen Square is adorned with large floral installations and national flags, standing as the symbolic heart of National Day celebrations. Tourists queue patiently to photograph themselves against these displays, and many linger at dusk to watch the evening flag-lowering ceremony. For small business owners in the capital, especially those operating in popular districts like Nanluoguxiang, the holiday week is a vital boost. Artisans selling traditional tea, calligraphy and handmade souvenirs report brisk sales. Street food vendors say the first day's turnover already exceeds ordinary weekends. For many, this short season makes up for quieter months earlier in the year and helps keep long-established family businesses alive. City authorities have prepared for the surge. Transport officials have added extra bus routes and increased the frequency of metro trains to handle the crowds moving between attractions. Railway operators have expanded their schedules with additional long-distance services to popular destinations, ensuring that travellers can return home or continue their journeys with fewer delays. At major intersections and near historic landmarks, uniformed police and volunteer guides help direct the flow of people, maintaining order despite the heavy foot traffic. Visitors themselves express a mix of excitement and nostalgia. Some say they are seeing Beijing for the first time in years, finally able to travel again after postponing plans during the pandemic. Parents talk about bringing their children to historic sites so that the younger generation can appreciate the nation's heritage firsthand. Retirees recall visiting the capital decades ago and remark on how much the city has transformed, with modern infrastructure now surrounding the centuries-old palaces. Many acknowledge the inevitable inconveniences, the long queues at ticket booths, the crowded subway trains, but regard them as part of the shared Golden Week experience. Local economists highlight that Golden Week is not merely a cultural celebration, it is also a significant engine of domestic consumption. Tourism authorities point out that the holiday last year generated hundreds of billions of yuan in spending across transport, accommodation, dining and shopping. This year, hotel bookings in Beijing, Shanghai and historic cities such as Xi'an have surged to near full capacity. Retailers and restaurants expect to see record sales as visitors dine out and purchase souvenirs. Analysts suggest that bustling tourist corridors like Nanluoguxiang and packed heritage sites like the Forbidden City offer a real-time barometer of consumer confidence. Behind the festive scenes, city management remains a challenge. Beijing's Public Security Bureau has intensified patrols in crowded areas, deploying additional officers near transport hubs and iconic monuments. Large-scale events, including evening light shows and cultural performances, are subject to crowd control limits to ensure safety. Health authorities advise travellers to maintain hygiene and wear masks in enclosed spaces, especially given seasonal flu risks. Stations now use real-time passenger flow data to adjust platform access and boarding schedules, aiming to minimise bottlenecks during peak hours. Cultural commentators note that Golden Week has evolved into more than a simple holiday. For many urban families, it is a chance to reconnect with the country's historical heritage by visiting ancient palaces, temples and traditional neighbourhoods. For rural migrants working in other provinces, it offers the rare opportunity to return home. For young couples and students, it is a window to explore new cities and taste regional cuisines. The shared national pause becomes a powerful reminder of how travel and celebration can bind a vast country together. As night falls, Beijing's historic streets remain lively. The red lanterns of Nanluoguxiang glow warmly above bustling food stalls. Tour groups continue to pass through the wide courtyards outside the Forbidden City, pausing to take in the illuminated palace walls. At the railway stations, loudspeakers still call out final boardings for late-night trains as weary travellers settle in for their journeys. The day's rhythm, the footsteps of visitors, the wheels of suitcases, the low murmur of anticipation shows no sign of slowing. The first day of Golden Week closes on an unmistakable note of optimism. The scenes from Beijing, the crowded hutongs streets, the steady streams of tourists leaving the imperial gates, the endless lines at train stations, portray a capital that has reclaimed its role as a living crossroads of history and modern life. They also reflect the resilience of domestic tourism and the eagerness of ordinary people to celebrate a national milestone together. Golden Week remains a story of movement, of people travelling across provinces to reconnect with family, of young travellers discovering cultural landmarks, of citizens proud to stand beneath the national flag. For Beijing, it is both a test of its infrastructure and a showcase of its enduring allure. For the country as a whole, it is an annual reminder that despite challenges and uncertainties, the desire to explore, to learn and to celebrate continues to drive millions. As the city settles into the rhythm of the holiday week, all eyes turn to the days ahead. Tourist flows are expected to increase further, with more visitors arriving to witness the sights of the capital and share in its festivities. The journey of Golden Week has only just begun, and for Beijing, it is once again the vibrant stage on which China's history and present-day energy meet.
指责伤他人。上车时注意站台与列车中间的缝隙。